Hey everyone, in this video, I am going to model for you how to construct a square that is inscribed inside of a circle. So the materials that you are going to need will be your compass, you will need a ruler, a pencil, and of course, some paper. So we're going to set a given radius for our circle. We're going to make our radius be 4 centimeters. So I'm going to start right here at the 8 and draw it to the 12 because it looks like you'll be able to see that the way my camera is set up. So since I said it's 4 centimeters, I'm going to put a mark here at the 8 and a mark here at the 12 because 8 plus 4 is 12. And now I'm going to draw that line with my ruler. It's actually a segment, and that's going to be the radius for my circle. So now I take my compass and I put my point. I'm going to use this end right here as my center. Measure that off. I need to adjust a little bit. And now I'm going to draw my circle. All right. Now that I have that drawn, we're actually going to name the circle. We're going to call this circle Q. All right. And what I want to do, I want to place a point anywhere on my circle. I'm going to place my point right here. And this point we're going to call point E. So this is point E. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the diameter of my circle. So we know the diameter has to go from edge to edge of the circle through the center. And I'm going to erase this Q for a minute because it looks like my line is going to go right through it, and then I'll place it back on there. So here's where my point E is. There's my center, and I'm going to draw that line straight through. And where it touches the edge right here, we're going to call that F. And now I can put my Q back. So what I'm going to do now is draw the perpendicular bisector of line EF. And we've already practiced that construction. So I will do it, but I'm just going to go through it quickly. I'm turning my paper so that when I draw the perpendicular bisector, it's facing me the right way. So for the perpendicular bisector, remember we're using our endpoints, and we want to choose a radius that's greater than half the length of our endpoints, E and F, and we're going to draw an arc above and below. So on one side, I like to draw my arc so that it crosses the whole side. It's kind of big, okay? Then when I put the point of my compass on the other side, I can just do the arcs that I need to see where it crosses. So that's going to be here and here. All right, so now that I have that, I can extend my segment through those intersection of the arcs to touch my circle. And where those points touch the circle, we're going to call those points M and P. So M and P. Now, where each of these points touches the circle, that is where I'm going to draw the sides of my square. So when I go from point M to point F, that's one segment of my square. When I go from point E to point M, that's another segment of my square. When I go from point E to point P, that's another segment of my square. And when I go from point P to point F, that will be the last segment of my square that I need to draw. So I know there's a lot of marks here, but here we have square EPFM. It is inscribed inside of circle Q. If I measure my segment lengths, I'm going to put from 14 to 20. That is 5 centimeters. So if I put my 14 here, 6 centimeters. 14 to 20, that's still 6. Because remember, our sides of our square should be congruent. So if I do 14 here to 20, that's still 6. And check one more side. Uh-oh, this is in the way. 14 to 20, 6. So there we have our square, once again, square EPFM, and it is inscribed in circle Q. Thanks for watching and listening.